Hi, this is Sana Farzeen and welcome to India Today. I have with me the team of Cup Kappi. And are you guys going to scare us or make us laugh?
Both.
Both, for sure.
Our
Yeah.
intention, yes.
But Tushar, tell me, like, what do you think about the horror comedy genre that has currently just gripped audiences and doing so well at theaters? Like, what do you think is the reason for that?
I think it's a genre that appeals to a wider audience for sure. But I don't really believe that the genre is safe. I believe each film has its own merit, and film does basis the entertainment quotient of that movie particularly. So India loves to laugh and India loves to get scared. It's in our DNA, it's in our bloodstream. So I think when you get a good horror comedy, I think the sky is the limit, because families will watch, youngsters will watch, you know, it just spans across demographics. And we've also tried to make a horror comedy which is a little alag from the other ones, because I think it's more of a horror film. I think the premise is of a horror film and the comedy is ingrained in the situations and the scenes, and the gags are more with the dialogues, etc. So the intention is to make a horror film, but it will make you laugh also. It's not a dark film. It's a happy horror film.
And I mean, when there's such a big cast, like, how's the environment on set? I mean, how do you guys manage to work with so many people just having fun maybe?
Absolutely. I think the more the better when it comes to, films like these. Because there's every character that is bringing something completely unique and different to the table. And we've seen, like in India, all these ensemble films, the multi-star cast, as they say, most often than not, they really do work, because people like watching stuff like this. Different characters, different personalities. And of course, fun to bahut zyada hota tha, because all of us came together with the intent of making a good, fun, scary film. And I hope we've been able to deliver that.
Right. Sonia, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, it was my first ensemble film, and I was a little scared too. I was like, kaise hoga? But bahut maza aaya. I mean, the vanity van was one big college dorm. We went along really well, and even in the scenes, we were feeding off of each other. There was never someone climbing over someone else's line. It was very cohesive. It was and the crew also was great. So मुझे तो बड़ा मजा आया.
Right. And how was it to come back together with Shreyas?
Interesting. I mean, this was our 6th film together.
Oh, wow.
And we've also got Welcome Back, Welcome 3, so that will be the 7th film. So it was interesting because we're coming back in a different light together, not like the Golmaals that you've watched before. It's a different equation in this movie. I'm not playing his partner in crime like I have before. Herein, I'm his relative who comes into the house, and my character is not really comic in that sense. I think Shreyas' character has more improvisation, scope for improvisation and dialogues, etc. It's more conventional. My character is somebody who is in a zone of his own. He has undergone some trauma, and he's manifesting the repercussions of that trauma, and everyone else is trying to figure out what is the diagnosis. Is he OCD? Is he, I mean, without trying to trivialize mental health, there are mental health issues with him. But endearing, and there's a sympathetic vibe, there's a disgusted vibe, there's a scary vibe about him. So, you decide what you think about this character. So, I think it's coincidental that Shreyas and I coming back in a horror comedy together. But the interaction is very unlike the previous films.
But any one of you has a spooky experience that you would like to share?
Not really. I think they've had spooky experiences. Yes. I was the one who spooked them out, I think. Yeah. My character spooked them out.
He is so spooky. Oh my God.
Just like snaps into it.
But no, I love horror films. And if something spooky happens to me, I'll enjoy it rather than get scared, and I'll try to understand it, and I'll take a video of it or something like that. Yeah.
But are you guys also like that, or you get scared easily?
I like getting scared. I think, like Sir has mentioned, it's in our DNA somehow to kind of...
Make me feel so old, yeah.
No!
Kab kabhi lagne lagi.
It's like हमें बचपन से we've been listening to the folklore of horror, पुरानी भूत की जो कहानियाँ होती है. Everybody has an interest towards it. So I think over time it's something which people really like, it's a feeling that people like feeling. So I like getting scared. In reality, if that happens to me, it won't be very pleasant, that's for sure. But yeah.
I don't like getting scared. I don't like anything bhoot and ghost related in my life. I remember, पिछले साल, have you guys tried mystery rooms?
Yeah.
So there's this mystery room in BKC, क्योंकि I तो love, मैंने सारे कर रखे हैं अंधेरी में, तो फिर I was like कुछ नया try करते हैं, BKC वाली में गई, वहाँ पर they have people who play a part of the mystery room. So you have to like solve something, then they're like lock yourself in this cage individually, फिर कोई भूत नहीं आती है. And I know, genuinely I know it's not real. But just the fact that someone's there and like I don't know who it is, I start screaming. I need to get out. Like I can't handle it.
Now I know what we must do next.
But Tushar, I think for the industry right now, what's spooky is the box office. Like, yes. Tell me, like, when a film is up to release in cinema halls, like, how do you feel about it, and what do you have to say about the entire phenomenon that is happening right now with how films aren't doing well at the box office?
Not every film is
not many
doing
are
well.
doing
I think
well, yeah.
not many are not doing well. I think the audience has become very, very choosy. I think we've lost the habit of going to the cinemas. Post-pandemic, that default audience that would go and watch any film and try a film, even if it's not supposedly popular or well-reviewed, that has gone away, I think. But we still go. I mean, that's not going to change. We still go, but we go after doing a lot of research, and we go when we are sure of getting our paisa vasool. And I think that's the change in the habits of the moviegoer in India. So as an industry, we are adapting to that, and I think there's a lot of good happening with this also. I think people have become more alert, and we're now promoting our films correctly. We are pricing our films correctly. We are spacing our films correctly, and sometimes there are these uncertain incidents that happen, and that's something that you can't help. But yeah, it is a turbulent time for sure, and dealing with multiple external factors. So I guess the art of facing the challenge is what we need to learn, and I think we'll be out of this very soon. It's about just keeping on doing your work and getting films out there so that you get people in, and I think it will be okay eventually.
And you rightly mentioned about pricing, because right now Shah Rukh and Salman also spoke about how tickets need to be priced correctly. Tushar, of course, because you also are involved creatively and as a producer, like how do you kind of think that this situation can be handled well, and what could be
I think the distributors and exhibitors know very well. We don't need to, I believe we don't need to really have multiple discounts, etc., but I think it should just be priced correctly, and I think the content, if it's good, and if the film has good word of mouth, all these issues don't really matter. I think multiplexes have to adjust to the new world that we're in now, and prices are changing in that sense, but it doesn't mean that we need to really go on our knees to get the audiences in. I think because then they get used to these reudis, or what you would say, you know. But it's about focusing on the writing, it's about focusing on making the right kind of films, and making films that the audiences today want to watch, so that you can compete with OTT, you can compete with television, and a good film never fails, irrespective of which time you're making a film come into the theatres. I mean, even in this time when people are so selective, I think a good film will eventually get its due. If not in the cinemas, it gets its due on OTT.
And both of you relatively new in the industry, like what was that one factor that really spooked you out about the industry or scared you the most, and maybe that you managed to overcome over the years?
I think Tushar sir said this yesterday a lot, uncertainty. I think that whole aspect, I come from a marketing finance background. Everything's quite laid out. 3 साल ये job करो, फिर ये करो, फिर वो करो. यहाँ पर it's like, everybody's like, हाँ पहली film मिल जाती है तो amazing. फिर सब सही है, नहीं है. That's when that whole uncertainty comes in. That's where the wait and the patience comes in. And I think I'm still overcoming the whole idea of purpose. I ask myself every day, what am I doing? Because not every day is as busy, and not every day you're working. But yeah, I think that's something that still spooks me out, but I'm dhire dhire trying to conquer it.
Amazing.
I feel like in this particular industry, you just have to keep doing work. In our Bhagavad Gita, there is this saying ki karm karo, phal ki chinta mat karo. And that's exactly how you have to live your life, especially in the film industry, because you feel like first it's the process of getting that first film. So you do multiple auditions, you get through multiple rejections, you get the first film and then you think that I have arrived, all right, and everything's going to look like perfect from now onwards. But reality hits and that doesn't happen most often, you know, and then it's the struggle to get your next film. That struggle can be somewhere around 2 years, it can be 2 months if you're lucky. And then after that, it's the successes and the failures. So if you've reached a certain level, you have certain amount of credibility that you bring to the box office. And if your film doesn't do, then that again is a problem. So there's a constant up and down. So I think it roots out to the same thing. It's uncertainty, and it's uncertainty at every level. No matter if you're starting or if you've already become a superstar.
So on that note, we have some fun questions for you guys. It's going to be, you have to name like who's most likely from this cast.
Okay.
Okay, who's most likely to get haunted by an Atma and offer it chai?
Offered chai.
Abhishek, I think.
Abhishek.
He's so intellectual, huh?
Yeah, he is quite intellectual. Yeah, he would want to.
I feel Nanko, Jai Thakkar, because even in the film, he has this whole concept of chai wala.
Oh.
He is
he
some
is
sort of
chai
a chai
wala.
wala in the film. So I think
Yeah.
it sits quite aptly with him.
Okay, be the Atma in the sequel of this film.
Me.
Yeah.
But does that mean I'm the Atma now? We don't know.
We don't know.
Okay. Try to network with the ghost for a film role.
Jay Thakkar. That's why I didn't say chai. Chai would be too calm for him. Yeah.
Who's most likely to ghost the Atma by just not replying?
The tall was the Varun.
Varun.
Yeah.
Varun.
Yeah, he would be like, hut, यहाँ से साफ कर देगा.
Yeah.
निकलो यहाँ से. Yeah.
He's too zen in life to even bother.
Who's most likely to take selfies with the Atma and start an Insta account?
Dinkar, that would be? Or the
No.
on the extreme right?
Dhiren.
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 Or maybe that would be you.
I wouldn't take selfies with the Atma. I would run from the
Oh yeah,
Atma.
you get scared, yeah. I think Dhiren probably.
Dhiren,
Yeah.
Who's most likely to flirt with the Atma and call it spiritual connection?
Ooh. Siddhi?
Maybe, just to maybe like run away from it.
Anamika would not be your spiritual connection.
No.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Okay. Who's most likely to ask the Atma for dating advice?
Dinkar, no. Dinkar,
yeah.
yeah.
Who's most likely to make a YouTube tutorial titled Living with Your Atma Roommate?
This would be you.
Me? Yeah. Hi guys, this is my friend Atma, Anamika.
Okay. Who's most likely to get haunted but the Atma ends up needing therapy afterward?
Me.
yeah.
That's me. That's Kabir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Kabir.
Yeah.
And lastly, who's most likely to ask the ghost to keep it down because they are sleeping?
Shreyas. Yeah.